But like I said, and again, I'm not trying to say this to be biased. I'm saying this as a fan. And she goes as far as to do what she did to make Dale feel better. To kind of be like, hey, we didn't mean to get mad at you last night. We know you're trying to help. So here, I want to do this for you. Along with Monterey and Chip's help, I want to do this for you to show how sorry we are for being mad at you, for not understanding that you're trying to help. But you can also, but in a way, when she does this to kind of due to the fact that she relates to him. When it comes to, hey, people think you're going to mess things up with your inventions kind of stuff. So, again, to me, that's what made the show great. You had stuff like that. It was tremendous. And then, again, like I talked about, you had these diverse other characters, these other characters that appeared once or twice, mostly sometimes once. Once in the case of the two female characters, Tammy and Foxglove. You had them diverse to the point that you would think, hey, I'm going to see that character in the next episode, or in a future episode as probably the next member of the team. And it gives you that impression. You take a look at Tammy. You think, okay, down the line, they're going to bring Tammy back after Adventures in Squirrel City, and they're going to have her become officially part of the team down the line. Of course, that never happens, but you think it will be. But the ending of Adventures in Squirrel City gives you that anticipation that it will happen. That sense that it could happen. And what was even more great about Tammy was they made her a potential love interest, even though she was a late teen, mid to late teen, and if you will, I guess you could say that, but made her as a potential love interest for Chip, which was kind of cool. And then down the line, they did the same with Dale. Dale, when they gave him the ever popular Foxglove bat in Good Times, Bad Times, the episode that I mentioned, which is on Witcheroo, one of the Disney Halloween-related VHSs. They made her fall in love with Dale right off the bat, and almost show up everywhere, which was cool. Which was really cool. It's through her association with Dale that she's able to finally realize, you know what? I don't need this Freddy girl or Winifred witch, whatever you call her, to be my friend, because she's not my friend. She's not anybody's friend. I have real friends here. I have somebody that actually likes me. And what was cool about Good Times, Bad Times was at first Dale's like a little shy, doesn't want to be around her too much. And later on he warms up to her, even to the point that, he's trying to impress her by saying, oh yeah, I moved that that little moonwalk. Did you right there? Oh, I moved that all by myself. Yeah, I'm strong and all that. Boom. Kind of showing off to her. So I like that, and that's what was great about this show. Not only did it have diverse characters, even for one-shot appearances, but it made it to the point that you could almost believe and hope that these characters were going to make a return in some ways. Even Gadget had it. Zipper had it. Gadget had it with Sparky and Does Papa Ring a Bell. Zipper had it with Queenie. I think in the episode, if I can find it here, Zipper even had it with the character Queenie in Risky Business. He had it with her in Risky Business. So what does that tell you? In Risky Business, along with Adventures in Squirrel City, were one of the first episodes shown on Disney Channel in the 88-89 preview season. So what does that tell you? That Disney basically has Chip and Zipper be the first ones to have potential outside love interests, or love interests outside the team, which are outside the team besides Gadget. Well, not Zipper, but you get the idea. For Chip, it's like, okay, he's the first one up. He gets a potential love interest besides Gadget, which is outside the team, and Tammy. And then you have Zipper with the same thing with Queenie. And then down the line, in the syndicated episodes, do you have Dale and Gadget get their potential love interests? And the other thing about the show, Monterey Jack's family and his past, and his backstories. What more can you ask for with the show being that diverse and that open wide, if you will? Just it left room for a lot of things. I mean, they even got, what was her name? Carol Channing, I think, or whatever her name is, to voice Kanina LaFleur in some of the final episodes. That's right. Kanina LaFleur was voiced by Carol Channing, or not Carol, yes, whatever her name was. I can't think of it. But she voiced Kanina LaFleur, and she's a very well-known actress. So, overall, it just had it just had a lot of diversity to it. It had a lot of had a lot of open. It was like a big open world of stuff, with characters and stories that, you know. I mean, listen to what I'm saying. That I could remember right off the bat because they were so good. They were. Now, what's funny about Rescue Rangers, though, is when they were previewing their return to Disney Channel, they were previewing the return with, with basically these right here. And when I first saw these pictures here, I had no idea that they were just preview pictures. That these were promo pictures that they had used back in '88. I had no idea, because when you take a look at Gadget, you know, it's like she's got earrings and flip flops, and it's like, what? You know, it's like you couldn't understand it. It's like it really blew your mind. If you will, it really blew your mind, because when they advertised these in the Disney Channel magazine, I looked at that and I said to myself, that's pretty damn cool. You know, I said, that's pretty damn cool. You know, that they did that. You know, I thought that was pretty damn cool. What was it? You know, they went in that route. They went that route, if you will, with was trying to promote the Disney Block Party, because it made you think, especially if you were a newer fan, it made you think you were going to get new episodes. A little deceiving, but I liked it because it actually also showed you the designs were not that far off. I mean, far off, I should say, on some of the characters, except for Gadget, which for some odd reason, every lead female character in a Disney show, any animated show, seems to get a redesign almost right off the bat from its original design. Go figure. But the thing is, that was really unique, and that really got my attention for Rescue Rangers on the Block Party, I will say that. But, you see, just when you think the Rescue Rangers adventures were over, a couple years ago, here comes Boom Studios, a couple of years ago. You know, Boom Studios around 2010, 2011, decided, hey, let's, and I think it's, ironically the guy's name is Ian. That's right, the guy's name is Ian. I'm trying to find his name here so I can make sure I get it right. Ian Brill. 2010, 2011, Ian Brill decides, you know what, hey, the fan base is still strong with this franchise. Let's bring this franchise back. Let's bring this franchise back with new adventures. With new adventures. Now, this was at a time when Boom Studios had made a deal with Disney to release some comic books, limited comic books, if you will, based around not just the Disney characters, but around other Disney properties. In this case, Disney Afternoon. They were doing DuckTales at that time. I think they were doing Darkwing Duck at that time. Well, they were doing DuckTales afterwards, but they were doing Darkwing Duck at that time, I think, and they were doing, I believe, Gargoyles as well. So they decided, you know what? We've done this. Let's see what happens when we do Rescue Rangers. And that's exactly what they did. The first the first few issues were all Rescue Rangers. These are the first 4 issues. And what was funny, and what was cool about this, when you take a look at the covers, very good artwork, I will say that. What happens what's funny about this is they all had variant covers, or variant covers. Variant covers, of course, are just alternate covers with a different look, or with a certain character, or something like that. And that's what these have. That even includes this one. Now this here is a graphic novel collection of all of the last 4 issues in the Rescue Ranger run. That's right, it only ran for 8 issues from Boom Studios, and then they moved over to do DuckTales, and now Disney's obviously got the license back, and hopefully they'll do more. But yeah, the thing is, the Rescue Ranger Adventures continued on in these issues, and just like when we found out that this was coming out to DVD, a lot of us fans were excited at the fact that we were getting new adventures of the Rescue Rangers, even if they were just in comic book form. But what was cool about this, was not only did you also have new characters, not only did you get more of a backstory on Gadget and her dad, as well as Gadget and another mouse named Glitch, who came into the second arc of the 8-issue run. But you also had the return of several characters. Right off the bat, from the very first issue, all the way to the last one, return of Foxglove. That's right. Foxglove made her return in the first few issues of the 8-issue run. Foxglove, of all characters. You don't believe me? Let me see if I can pull this out and just see if I'm right. Who's that? Exactly. And you had her interacting with characters she didn't interact with before. But you think she was the last one? Nope. No, she wasn't. Look who made her return. In the last issue. Look who made her return in the last issue. Exactly. Tammy made her return. And this is the first official time Tammy and Foxglove are together. Which tells you Ian Brill studied the history, studied the fan base, studied the fact that fans wanted to see this happen, probably studied the stories, fan fiction stories fans wrote, probably saw some of the fan art and said, you know what, I want to make that a reality. And that's what he did. That's what he did in that 8-issue deal. And fans have been begging for more. Fans have been wanting more. Fans have been starting a petition to get the 3rd volume released, even if it's a Disney movie club exclusive. They want it released. Because and this just shows you the impact that this show has had. had in 25 years. It just shows you that impact. I remember, as a matter of fact, what's funny about this is in 1990 when DuckTales the movie came out to the big screen, it was announced that was being made. A lot of us assumed Rescue Rangers was going to be next. And you know what? We were closer to the truth than we ever thought. Because according to a 1990 edition of Comic Scene magazine, according to that 1990 issue of Comic Scene magazine, Rescue Rangers was indeed the next movie to be released onto the big screen. That's right, Disney in